Hey, are you guys ready? Are you ready? Hey, welcome to the channel where we talk about things. It's called Let's Talk. It's been a little bit since I've done one. We don't talk about that. But this time, somebody is joining me to talk about something that I really enjoy. And I'm in the middle of my reread of the entire book series. Once again, I started on Halloween night, which I think is the perfect time to start, because that's the first day in the book, but we'll talk about it anyways. Blabs is joining me today. What is up?
Oh, hi, how are you
doing?
today?
I'm doing good.
I'm great. I'm excited to do this. I've been like pestering you and Gary all in Orlando. I'm
I
like,
know.
when are we doing something? When are we doing something?
Harry
Let's
Potter,
go.
Harry Potter. So, like, I met you in Harry Potter world.
I know. I was like, hi.
It's like the
And
perfect
I
place
think it was
to
you
meet.
though, Gary, who was like, I'm really sweaty, but hi. And you kind of gave me one of those hugs.
Harry Potter world is awesome. It is like so
It was my
cool.
first time there.
Me too. I've never been there before. It was
I
such
had to
a.
go for 2 days in a row. It was just so much to take in.
I know.
So
I want to
impressed.
go back like right now
Mm.
because like it's such a. And I'd like to go with like my. I want to take my son because I've gotten my son into reading the books and he's on book 3. He's just started it. I think he's like 7 chapters in.
Okay, yeah.
So he's liking it, and my daughter's starting to like it. They're kind of getting into it. So I think that's like the perfect time because my son is 11.
When they're young, yeah.
I'm like, that's 11 years old, perfect. And they have so many different things you can like investigate and go into and look at, and there's like interactive stuff all over the place.
Oh yeah, with the interactive wands.
Yeah, I bought a wand, but I didn't do any of the interactive stuff because I'm like, it was just me. I was like, I'm not gonna do that.
Ah, you could have been like, oh, you're a wizard, Garrett.
Woohoo! But no, it was just me. So I'm like, maybe I'm too old for that stuff. I did go and knock up on number 12 Grimmauld Place.
Ah, and
That
big
was
creatures
cool.
show up? That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah,
I
comes
like
out
that
of
a
the-
lot. Just all the detail that, I mean, you had the night bus outside of Diagon Alley. I was impressed. I was amazed. And I knew all about it because I spent years watching YouTube videos and going, oh my God.
Yeah, oh,
But still, even going there, you're just like, wow. And the scale of everything, it's like built
it's
to
freaking
size.
huge.
Yeah.
Like Diagon Alley it's straight up from the movies.
Beautiful.
Like
Beautiful,
I kind of wish that there was. I know this is crazy, but I wish there was more to it. Like it's such a large place, but it also is like I kind of want to know what like Nocturne Alley would be like.
Oh, there
And-
was a Nocturne Alley.
Kind of. I
There
wanted
was.
more. You
It's
know,
a
like,
really small little Nocturne Alley, but it's really, I liked it a lot because I just like dark places. I guess
Yeah.
I'm a vampire. I don't know. But
my
like,
one critique
I liked
is
it a
like
lot.
I wish that the shops that you go into sold actual like Wizarding World stuff instead of like knickknacks
The
and
merch.
You know, like I wish you
Yeah.
could go into like a potion store and you can get like a stupid little potion thing that's like full of
That would be
green
cool,
water or something.
yeah.
But
You
I
can
think it'd be
go
fun.
and- Yeah, like what's it, Flourish and Blots is an actual store there, and you could go and pick up all your ink and all your
Yeah,
books,
right.
stuff like that.
I think
they
the
should publish
closest-
all those books.
The closest thing to it would be
Ollivanders.
Ollivanders, yeah, because it really feels like you're getting. There's so many wands, and you
There's all
open
the
up a
wands,
box,
yeah.
and it's like a different wand every time. It feels like. So it's like that's the closest they get to it. But I wish like all the other stores were also that way. I'm like, I want to get all
agree
the
with
books.
that.
I want to get all the stuff. Like people would buy that. I feel like people would. Like stupid
I do.
props like that.
I want
they
them
would.
like a Hogwarts a history book. That'd be really cool because
See?
how many times is it mentioned, throughout the
Right.
series, and yet there actually is no publication.
Sad.
Yeah,
Sad.
I would totally
They need to
I'd
get that fixed. So if you can't tell, we like Harry Potter. I would like to know, how did you get into Harry Potter? Was it the movies? Was it the books? What was your first kind of foray
So I
into it?
was about 5 when the first film came out. I was a wee little thing, and I never read the books. My mom did. She picked up like the first book at like Costco, whatever it was, because Costco sells all the books in like a
Yeah,
giant
stack.
pallet and everything. It's just stacked. It's like you're feet high in the air. So she got the first, like at that point by 2004 books were out. So she had read them, and so she went and took us to the movies with my dad too. And I was terrified when I was 5. I was sitting on my mom's lap when, the Forbidden Forest scenes and all that. I was like, oh,
That's pretty scary for a
with
5-year-old, I
Voldemort.
think.
Yeah, so I was terrified, but I loved it anyway. And so like from there, I was just hooked. Like she would buy us all the toys from like KB Toys, if anyone remembers
Back in the
KB
day.
Toys, Toys R Us, stuff like that. And then I started reading the books. So I actually watched the first or second movies first, and then read the books. But by the time like Deathly Hallows was coming out,
Mhm.
like in 2010, 2011, I had obviously read it because the book came out in 2007, and I was about 11 then. Yeah, so I was a massive fan. Like I've been collecting basically since I was like 4 or 5 because I still have
Yeah.
everything that I own from 2001,
Oh,
2002, like all the
wow.
Legos and all that. I still have
Ah,
them.
man. I had a friend that had like every single Lego set that came out. I was so jealous, man. That was such a they're really great Lego sets too. Like they're
Yeah.
like full on multiple storied
Hmm.
freaking sets. Crazy.
Yeah. Like all the old Legos. I don't have the boxes anymore, which is sad because I love the old box art
Oh
with the
yeah.
bricks for Hogwarts Castle. I just thought it was like, and all the merch was like the same, all the
Yeah, it was very
Hogwarts,
consistent
the
all the way
bricks. Yeah.
across.
And I love that. And it was just so nostalgic. And they changed it for more modern stuff. And I'm like, whatever. But I don't have like the boxes anymore. And I wish I did. I have a lot of the new sets, but they're just not
Yeah.
as good as the old ones. Like all the
Yeah, what
stickers you have to put on them and stuff.
how do you regress? I don't understand how you regress. Like you already have the good set there, just like just
But
sell
a lot
that
of them they
still.
remade the sets too. Like the Bora was made in 2010, 2011, the very first time. And then they remade it back in like what 2020 or whatever it was. And
Yeah.
like it's really, really summer. So I'm like, I'm just gonna keep the older one that has a higher
Yeah.
value.
Better anyways.
Yeah.
Dermy
Mhm.
Wormy for $2. Best moment in Harry Potter is when Dobby died. Hey, how dare you? That was
I think
so
this is like a
sad.
lethal lightning thing. He loved it
Uh,
when Dobby died. I
so
don't know what it
sad,
is.
bro.
Dude, I cried. This guy was just laughing his ass off. I'm like, what the hell?
So like kind of I think I was introduced to Harry Potter a similar way, but earlier, because
Hmm.
I'm older than you. Uh, I was 9. No, I was 10 whenever the first movie came out.
Hmm.
So I was like right there, right under Harry's age in the movie. But
Yeah,
I
perfect
had
time.
not read the books. My mom read the books to us as like when they came out earlier in the 90s. So like I had not read them myself until not Deathly Hollows, but Half-Blood Prince, I think, is whenever I first was like, okay, well, let me read the actual books. Because like I had known of the books, right? I love the
Hmm.
movies and I love the first couple books, but I never actually sat down. And my best friend, still my best friend to this day, I got pissed because he came over to my house and we were supposed to like hang out. It's like, hey, you're
Hmm.
coming over to my house, you're spending the night over here. We're gonna play games or whatever. And it was the night that the seventh book came out.
Oh.
So we just went to Walmart and bought the book, and he just sat there and was like reading that book because the hype in between 6 and 7 was
Oh yeah, it's
huge,
huge.
right? You
Hmm.
know, like you got Dumbledore dying, and then like Snape, and you got to go on this journey to go find all the Horcruxes, and
They're
it
not
was
going
like
back to Hogwarts.
they're not
What's
going to
going on?
Hogwarts, right?
Yeah.
So like I'm like I don't know what's going on. I've only watched the first few movies and read the first book, but he's like, I gotta read this thing. I can't even talk to you. Don't talk to me. I'm reading this thing. But like the hype was huge at that time. At the same time, the movies were coming out, so I was going to all the movies, and then I started working at a movie theater. So it was like this huge thing about every Harry Potter that came out because it was annual almost. That you like everybody that I knew would get together and stand in line on Thursday night because they still did the
Hmm.
midnight showings at the time, and it was like an event. So it was such a big thing. And then I was finally read all the books in between Half-Blood Prince, and then when they did Deathly Hallows Part 1, so I was like, okay, now I know everything. I know what's going on. I know how everything's gonna go down. Like how are they gonna do that in a movie? So it was such a good time that the Harry Potter kind of
Mm.
from like the carryover from the books all the way through to when all of the movies came out.
Yeah, 2011 was the last one.
Yeah, wow, that's so crazy that it was that long ago.
Yeah. I remember getting Deathly Hallows' book at Costco. And, like I said, they're on a massive pallet. And because I'm such a collector and like compulsive obsessive, I was like looking at all the different books. I'm like, that one has a bent veg. That one has a bed
Yeah,
and
you're like, which is
paper,
the
you know.
best
So they had
one?
picked one and they just sat down. You know how like Costco always has like the area of chairs and couches. I just sat there while my parents went shopping around. I was just like, what happens? What happens? What happens?
Just you're going through it. It's like that,
Yeah.
man. The hype between those two books was like insane.
It was, I remember. And then I remember being spoiled for Deathly Hallows because it came out at midnight, right? So the newspapers, you remember newspapers? Like back
Oh,
then
back
they
in the
still
day, yeah.
had newspapers. And they were like, "Well, who dies?" And my mom's like, "Do you want to know?" And I was like, "Well, yes, tell me." So she's like, "Snape dies, Dobby dies, Fred dies,
Ah,
Hedwig dies." And I was like, "Maybe I
yeah,
didn't
that was
want
a
to
thing too,
know."
because it was like not, some people died in the earlier ones, Sirius Black, that was pretty
Mhm.
serious. But it wasn't like the amount of people that died in the last book was so crazy. Everybody was talking about it because it was like the one before that, Dumbledore died. Oh shit! Like
Mhm.
what? No way! And people were spoiling that.
Yeah.
And then in that last one, it was just like so many people
Just a
died.
massacre.
Goodness, like who's she gonna kill next? You just keep going.
Yeah, Fred for me is the worst
Oh,
one
I
because like
know.
Percy's just like over his dead body trying to pick him up and like
So
shake him
rough.
awake and everything, and he's laughing like his like it's described as like this like the ghost of his last laugh
Mm-hmm.
etched on his face. I'm like, oh my
She's
gosh.
just J.K. Rowling is evil, fucking evil,
she,
man.
she knows how to break your hearts, that's for sure. So
So
Fred and George are my favorite characters.
they're
So one lost an ear and then the other one, so I was like,
right.
shit.
They're so good. I love all of the. I really
Holy safe.
identified with the Weasleys because my family
Mm,
was kind of like that, like the little bit of an outcast family that stuck together and were like haphazard all over the place. Had a very strong-willed mom kind of thing. So like we gravitated towards those characters. So it's like whenever one of them died, I was like, damn, that was one of my boys.
yeah. Yeah. Well, because I don't know if you know this, but apparently Arthur Weasley was actually supposed to die in the fifth book when he's attacked by Nagini.
Yeah, yeah.
And then she changed it and she was all like, nah, 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 we're going to keep him. And then it was either going to be like Ron or Fred dying. And there was also rumors that Hermione was going to end up with Fred if Ron died.
I
I
thought she
remember
was
reading about that. Now I don't know if that's
it's
true or not because I
freaking
never really
weird.
looked into it all that much. But apparently, like that was a thing. She was gonna put Hermione and Fred together
That's
because
one.
Hermione like was warming up to like Fred and George by like what the fifth book, and she was like, "Oh, that's
That's like
brilliant,
one thing
guys," and they're
about the
like, "Wow."
books is that I never felt like the romances really fell very like real. It was kind of just like, oh,
Mm.
okay, these two characters now they're together,
Yeah, I
and you're
mean,
like,
like
okay, I guess,
Harry's and Ginny's was kind of a bit sudden, a little bit, but
yeah.
it was slowly sort of building up, like hinting here and there. If you go back and reread them, you'd be like, "Oh, just
And I kind
wait."
of like, the fact that like he saved her life in the second book, and like they were
Hmm.
connected there in a way, and that she was like infatuated with him a little bit, like she had a crush on him and whatnot. So it made sense, but it still felt like weird. I don't know. It was
Yeah,
a weird
maybe
thing.
it's just that she wasn't great at writing like teen love, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
That could be it. But her foreshadowing though was like amazing, especially when you're in the Half Blood Prince in the Room of Requirement, and she just like
Yeah.
barely glances over the Rowena Ravenclaw's diadem, just chilling in the, and then you're like, oh yes, whatever, a diadem, and you're like, wait a second, when
Wait,
you're rereading,
that's
and you
one of
go,
the things
oh,
about
it's like that meme with Leonardo DiCaprio where you
like,
whistle, and he's like, ah, ah.
like the
So that's what I think.
whenever I read the books, because before that I love the movies, right? I still love the
Hmm.
movies in their own way, but whenever I read the books, I was like, these movies suck, because like there's so many things that she set up early on in the series,
And they just cut it.
and they completely cut it out. Like easy things they could just drop in, it's a little thing here, something there,
Oh
but
yeah,
like
they just didn't even bother. They
don't
didn't even
even do
prep,
it.
right, for the future films. But I think like all the directors are like, "This is my time to shine now.
Yeah, and
I
I'm
will do
like,
what's
but
best for me."
like you had JK like right there, just
Yeah, she was there
she really
on
was like
set like
setting
a
up. She
lot.
was very focused on the Snape thing. She was like, that's what I'm setting up. The one thing, if I'm gonna pull one thing off in the movies, it's gonna be the Snape
Mhm.
reveal and that whole backstory. But like, you could have set up some other stuff
Mhm.
in the movies. I still like the
And Alan
movies,
Rickman
but
knew
like,
since the very beginning too.
right, yeah, she told him, and he was the only one.
Yeah, can you imagine knowing and be like, Zoop.
Can't say
I'll be
anything.
like,
I
yeah,
mean,
I know
what
something you don't know.
was it like the third book was out when the first movie came out? I think it was something like that.
So So the first
So,
movie
like,
came out in 2001, and Goblet of Fire came out in 2000, like just flat. So that's
mhm.
book 4. So
Okay,
4 books
it
are
was
already out.
4.
So it's a huge hype because Voldemort's back and everything. So, and then the movie was coming out. So it was wild.
Jose Gonzalez, what's up, Jose? Member for 9 months. Hey, bro. I love these movies. I'll be in the parks soon. Dude, if you like the movies or the books, go to the park because the
Yeah.
park is
hmm
insane.
And
It
you
is
have to go for
cool.
more than one day.
You
For
have
sure.
to. There's so much there to like just ogle at and go to. Like,
Mhm.
there's shops everywhere and there's so many little nooks and crannies like you can go to. You got to go to like
Even
the
when
restaurants,
it's
like Three Broomsticks and all
yeah.
that stuff.
I went and ate there. Just I knew the food wasn't gonna be that great because I mean
It was
it's like theme park, but you had to go there just for like sitting in a leaky cauldron. It was
yeah.
so authentic. I was like,
These bastards, they got me, dang it.
the
Like, oh,
details just are so amazing. I had to go just to sit there and just take it all in. But I went the next day after we had gone on that Thursday. So I went on the Friday
yeah.
and it started to pour and like pour and pour and pour for hours. And you know what? It was still beautiful there, especially in Diagon Alley where I was, because the cobblestones, everything was kind of like reflecting onto the
Yeah.
floor
I
with the
feel like
rain.
that's
Ah,
even better. Like, that, like, it really
yeah, it was
sets in
so
the
cool. The only problem was like
aspect of it.
you were getting soaking wet. That was the issue. But
I
like,
love it.
oh, it was just so cool seeing all the scenery in the rain. I was like, wow. Yeah, so if it rains, guys, it's not the end of the world. Just,
Yeah.
heads up there.
I wonder if is it different during the Christmas season? Because we went
It
kind of like
is.
Halloween. Like, what do they do for
hmm
Christmas?
They well, especially in Hogsmeade, they have all the snow and all that, so they
Yeah.
really make it Christmassy. They put like decorations, ribbons, and bows and stuff like that. Subscribe to Park Hop, and you guys can see all
Hey,
that
yeah,
with Jay.
oh, and the butterbeer. Yeah, Willy Wonka Kenobi, the butterbeer. I had one.
hmm
That's all I could take because it's
Uh,
really
it's very
rich.
sweet.
It's very, very
Yeah.
sweet. It is
So
like
my first one, I tried
pancakes
the
in a cup.
frosty, like the frost one, which is like a slushy, and that was pretty
Oh, I didn't
good.
try
It
that
was
one.
really sweet. I recommend that one. That's probably the best one because it was so hot that day too that it was kind of cooling you
Yeah.
off. And then I tried the regular one, and that was pretty good. But it was I kind of want to try the hot one day. The hot one looks like fun, but I mean,
Yeah, I
why
think
would
I
you
can
want a
only.
hot drink in like
Yeah, and
90
it's hot
degree weather?
outside. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could only take one, and I'm glad I didn't do another one because it was very heavy, very heavy
It's
drink, but it's
very
very good.
rich and filling.
Very good drink.
They have a flagship store in New York City, and so I actually just tried butterbeer from there because that butterbeer is imported from the United Kingdom,
What?
basically. Yeah, and it's not that good. I was kind of disappointed because everyone's like,
Like
"It's so
compared
good."
to.
Yeah, compared to Universal, everyone's like, "Oh, it's so much better than Universal.
Mm.
It's less like commercial and all that." And I found that it was like for some reason it was very fizzy, which I didn't really like with like butterscotch fizz, and just didn't really work for me.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds
I didn't really
strange. I
like
don't know
it that
about
much.
that.
Yeah, so I preferred the Universal version, which apparently is the unpopular opinion, but what can you do?
I don't get
Yeah.
that. Okay, question. What house are you in?
Can you guess?
I want to say. I'm gonna guess Slytherin.
No. I'm a Gryffindor. And
Gryffindor.
it's
Okay.
funny. Yeah, you're going to find out next week on the interview because I'm interviewing Garrett, guys. So drop your questions for him. But extra go with House
Ravenclaw
of
was a close
Castle.
second, guys. They're all guessing Ravenclaw.
No, I'm Gryffindor. Um, I'm asking you that question next week. So
Oh,
please don't say Castle.
okay. I won't say. I haven't taken the new Hogwarts house sorting thing.
Oh,
I don't
you
know what they do there.
You should
I haven't
film
done
it.
it
Like,
yet.
it'd be awesome to see your reaction.
I
Because they
did
have
it
the
like way
Patronus
back in the
too.
day, like on the old
On
website.
Pottermore, the OG.
No, before that. Before that
Before
one.
Pottermore.
Dude.
Like
Bef-
just like HarryPotter.com.
Yeah, it was just www.harrypotter.com.
Oh, it wasn't like just like rolling a dice or something like that. I'm like, you're a
Probably.
Hufflepuff.
I was like, it
Yeah.
was like a little questionnaire, but like whatever you got, it doesn't matter what you answered, it would just give you a house. That was what I did. So I don't count that as a real one. I'm sure the new
No,
one's also very.
Yeah, and the Patronus exam is very cool.
Oh yeah.
It's beautiful, the exam. It's timed, so you can't really mess up. But it's a really cool test.
I
Like
wonder
I
what
got a
animal I
fox
would
and it
get.
like just floats around. Oh, it's beautiful. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend you film it because it'd be pretty entertaining for your audience to see you go through it all.
What do you think my Patronus would be, guys?
They literally
I
have
don't know what it
everything
would
from
be.
like a phoenix to like a snake to a cat.
Be like a bear.
Mine's
Like
a
it could be a
fox.
bear. like a koala
Okay.
bear. I don't want it to be like a regular bear. Yeah, see, look,
You
a
don't
bear,
want to be
Joe.
a Canadian
Yeah,
bear.
yeah, koala bear. Look, oh my God, we're like right on the same level. Look at us. Who's your favorite character?
Fred and George.
That's
I
right, you
love Fred
said
and
that.
George.
Who's
It's
your
okay.
second favorite character?
I really love Tonks, but we just don't get enough Tonks. And the movies
Yeah,
that are so dirty, so dirty.
yeah,
They basically
they don't
just brushed
utilize her at
aside her
all.
and Lupin like completely in the movie. She's like, by the way, guys, oh, never
Oh,
mind. And you
look,
find
we
out
have
later
kids.
on that
We
she
have
had
a
a baby
kid.
with him. Like, okay.
Yeah, they really kind of throw that out there.
Mm. Who's
Uh,
yours?
I would say probably Sirius Black, and
Ooh.
I wish there was more. Like, I think that's why I liked it, because he's in it for such a short amount of time. He
Yeah.
really, like, really, he's in it because in Prisoner of Azkaban, he's kind of a villain,
Yeah,
right, the
towards
whole
the end,
time.
yeah.
And then you get to meet him a little bit in the next book, but he's really on the run, and you don't really get to see it. But he's kind of like this father
He's a
figure,
rebel
quasi.
almost too.
Yeah, he's almost like what Harry would want to be when he gets
Mm-hmm.
older, like this adventurous kind of like older guy. And then he's connected to his father, so then he sees him as his like surrogate father, but you really don't get to
Mm-hmm.
spend a lot of time with him. So it's like
Yeah.
you always want to spend more with him, and then he dies, and it's just like,
Dies, yeah.
oh my God, because you always want to like keep him around. God, I can't
Mm-hmm.
believe they killed him. But she's masterful kind of at that. If you're reading along and you're growing up with it, she hits you with those like important character deaths, I think, at the perfect time. So she
Yeah.
builds up this character like Harry has nobody that's like him that understands like what he's going through, and then he
Mhm.
has this father figure, and then she kills that guy, and then she
Yeah.
does it again, and then she does it again, and she's like,
Again.
this isn't just like a little kid story, even though it kind of, it still is, but things are going to go away, like they aren't going to be the same. And I think that's what's so great about the arc of it, because right now I'm on book 5, just started. He just got to Hogwarts.
I think that's probably my favorite book.
I fucking Umbridge, dude. I hate
I
Umbridge so
love
much.
to hate her. She's the
She's
worst.
just a bitch. But I haven't got to Umbridge yet. He just got through like the Ministry because
Mm-hmm.
he did the Patronus and all that stuff. Yeah. So, what was I saying? Oh, I'm like rereading it. So it's cool to see it now that I'm older, and I get like a different perspective on the whole book series. Like the very first ones, they're very like kiddish, and there's kind of big stakes going on, but nobody really ever gets hurt. Like in the second
chess scene and all that.
like
Yeah.
in that one, in the second one, nobody, like literally nobody gets hurt, even though people should definitely be dying. Like there's a giant basilisk around here, and all it takes is for you to look at it and you die, and nobody dies. So but then like the book 3 really takes it. It gets
whole other
darker,
level.
and then book 4 gets even darker, and then somebody actually dies that you didn't expect to die. He just
multiple die in Goblet of Fire. Like at least 3.
And it's just like it kind of ups the ante every time. And if you're a kid and you're growing up with that, you're like experiencing it as he would. But now that I'm like rereading it as an adult, I'm kind of seeing where part of it doesn't matter, like the parts that don't matter really. Like Harry and Snape's relationship, sure, he's like a villain-ish, he's like mean, but he's not really that bad of a person. Kind of like, I don't think he's that
piece of shit.
I don't think he's a bad guy. Like he's an asshole, but like
He's
sure, some
horrible
people
to
are mean.
Neville. He literally tortures poor Neville and bullies
Maybe
Neville.
I'm a Slytherin.
For no reason.
He does. So like, but I as a kid, I saw him as such a very evil person. Like, oh, he's so evil. And then you find out later he's like good or whatever.
Yeah.
But
He's a double agent.
going through it, I'm kind of like, yeah, he's like a douche, but some of the times he's kind of justified in why he's being a dick at the time. He's like, okay, well, Harry, you just took a flying car and flew across England. Like, you probably shouldn't have done that. And he's just really harsh about it. So it's like, yeah, I get that he's a villain, but he's not as much of a villain as I thought he was.
He's
He
like,
definitely does treat people like
she
crap.
builds up the levels of like villains. You got Snape, Umbridge, Voldemort, all the Death
Yeah, it goes
Eaters
like.
and all that. Yeah. Hmm.
What was your so you said your favorite book was uh Order of
Or the
Phoenix.
Phoenix, yeah.
Why is that?
I just love the whole like the children figuring out, no, we gotta do this for ourselves. We're gonna teach ourselves. We're gonna fight back at this horrible Umbridge bitch and the Ministry of Magic. And also, I mean, you do get to meet Luna, and she's so different from Hermione. So different.
Yeah,
Both
she's like the
awesome,
polar
equally
opposite.
awesome, badass bitches, but complete opposite. So I
Yeah.
really like that. I don't know. I loved Cho Chang just crying her eyes out in like Madame
Is her
Puttyfoot's tea
friend?
shop and all that. She's like, "See you around, Harry," And
Yeah.
then Harry doing the interview with Rita Skeeter, which is completely cut out of the films.
Yep.
I loved all of that. Yeah, I just think it's so funny. It's basically, honestly, it's like the beginning of like teen love and all that. I just thought it was hysterical because these kids have absolutely no idea what's going on. I just loved it. And Fred and George with their starting their joke shop,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah,
Yeah.
selling
Harry just
everything,
gave him the
testing
money.
everything. Mhm. So I just love it.
That is a good one too, because it's when she does it a little bit in Goblet of Fire, where they really start to kind of interact with the other kids from other houses a little bit
Mhm.
more. Because before it's
Yeah.
just Gryffindor and Slytherin, and it's like
Mhm.
that is it.
Yeah,
And
Hufflepuff and
then
Ravenclaw do not matter
yeah,
until
they're
later
like
on.
out completely, basically. And then Goblet of Fire, they start to integrate and they start meeting other kids.
Yeah,
Like they
with
go to the
with
dance with
Cedric and Hufflepuff.
separate
Yeah.
people. Yeah. And then in this one they really start like she literally adds a new character into like the friend group that's
Mhm.
from a different house, so you start to like
Yeah.
see other houses more, and it's not so
Mhm.
like
And
insular.
you get to know more about like the other characters' background
Yeah,
stories too, which I really like. For me, I just always want to know more about like the background characters because I always think they're so interesting, but you never know enough of them, like Dean and Seamus
yeah,
and Neville, even like the Hufflepuffs that no one gives a fuck about, like Justin Finch fantasy. I want to know more about
I
them.
like that
So
guy.
I love that. I love the fifth one. You get to see them stick up for each other,
Yeah,
fight back. I love them. Loyalty,
and
right?
to like
Great.
I think that's one of the most complex books, like socially, really, because like in the beginning, Harry's seen as the celebrity.
Hmm.
And in the second one, they kind of push back against that a little bit because then they start thinking he's the heir of the Slytherin, right? But
Hmm.
really, everybody's like, yeah, I know it's Harry. I know Harry's good. And then they kind of like make it more complex because I hate it whenever people say that Harry is like a Mary Sue type character.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
like,
totally not. It's
no,
just the
there's no
movies that
way.
make him very bitchy and a
Yeah,
dick, to
it's
be
like, yeah,
honest.
he's kind of the chosen one, but ultimately he wasn't the chosen one in a way,
Mhm.
like he was chosen by Voldemort to be the chosen one, but it wasn't
It could have
him.
been Neville. It could have been
It
Neville.
could have been
Yeah, it was like
Neville,
a
right? And then
50-50.
Neville ends up helping to destroy him in the end. So it's
Mhm.
like all of these things that the Wizarding Society put onto Harry, and then they strip it all away in book 5, and everybody hates Harry. Like the whole
Mhm.
government freaking comes down on
Yeah,
Harry,
they
and like
vilify him.
he's a complete villain in this one. And
It's
I
very
thought that
parallel
was
to
cool.
like
Yeah,
today's society, which I think
that
is
is
great
something.
because
Yeah, with
she wrote that book in like
J.K.
2003. It was published. So I mean, it's 2022 now, and we're seeing stuff, and it's very much a foreshadowing of like the future.
And kind of like what happened to J.K. Rowling is like all of these
Hmm.
things, reading it and going like, okay, well they interviewed Harry here and they took things that he said and took him out of context, and then
Hmm.
they vilify him in the press and in the government and all this stuff. I'm like, that's very, very, very much like how she's being treated right now.
Yeah, very much. So I'm
And
just like, this is interesting.
I wonder how like people that vilify her so much that do love the books, how do they justify that in their
Oh, it's
heads?
so funny
Like,
trying to watch them do like these mental mathematics and gymnastics in their head. So I'm in a lot of these like Facebook groups where I just kind of lurk and see what people
yeah,
say. They're like, "Oh, we don't want to support her or anything. We burn her books, we get rid of her books, or we don't buy the merch, and we just buy like from like Etsy or whatever, where it's
yeah,
like locally created in your basement, like a wand or something like that. So
yeah.
you have some type of Wizarding World merch, but no royalty goes to J.K. Rowling and all that. It's stuff like that. They just they completely go crazy. Like, we won't buy this, but you'll support this. You know, like you'll buy the video game, but you won't support like this. And like, I'm like, she still gets money from the video game, but
I
anyway.
don't get it. It's like, how do you not see that you are the ones that would read a Rita Skeeter article and just believe it? Like,
Yep,
that's what's
right.
happening, is like you are reading a Rita Skeeter article and going, oh yeah,
Hmm.
Harry Potter's insane and Voldemort's not here.
Yeah, it
But
was
you're
like a
doing
couple
it
weeks
in
ago. Then
reality.
she tweet saying, "Oh, I got the money." Like, and like, how do you sleep at night? And she's like writing her checks or whatever, loaded. Like, she gets sad or something like that, and then she sees her royalty check and she just cheers up automatically, something like that. Like, she just like slapped all like the freaking SJWs. It was beautiful. Yeah.
It's kind of funny, but it's like, I don't know. That's what's interesting about writing and how people can view
Hmm.
things and get different outcomes completely. Like, I just don't. How do you like? Well, it's like it's kind of like the article you wrote. If you want to kind of bring that up, whenever
Yeah.
they came out with the cursed child, they recast Hermione from a black
Hmm.
perspective, like as a black actress, and then she
Yeah.
tried to justify it. That was the thing. Is
She
like, even
did.
before that, whenever I was like, JK is not.
She did that in December of 2015.
She's like rewriting her own stuff now.
Yeah, so she's like canon, brown eyes, frizzy hair, and very clever. White skin was never specified. Rowling loves Black Hermione. But you know, like she in the 90s, I sent you the thing in the private one. I'm terrible with streaming, just so you know, if you want to share it or
Oh no, yeah, yeah, I
something.
get it.
Like in the 90s, she actually did draw a sketch of Hermione, Harry, and Ron. And originally, Dean Thomas's name was Gary, and Gary was sketched in because he's black, and Hermione's
Gary.
next to him. And guess what? She is pale. She's not sketched in at all.
He
So
is sketched
there it
in.
is. So yeah, Gary, aka Dean Thomas, is all the way on the right, and that's Hermione. That's her sketch from way back in the day. Like this was sketched like into the 90s. Uh-huh.
So
And in
yeah, that.
1999, she said that Hermione was based loosely on herself. So unless Hermione is, J.K. Rowling is apparently identified as a black woman in the 90s, which is totally hip.
So it's like, JK, these were the fans that you were like trying to get. So before the book, whenever the book came out, before the movies came out, she said
Mhm.
that all of a sudden Dumbledore's gay. Never like
Mhm.
really said anything in the book. I guess you could infer that if you want to, but it was a big deal whenever she came out and said that. Like she was trying to appease some group for some
Yeah.
reason. Like you didn't really need to say that. You could have just left it as written.
Yeah. I never saw Dumbledore as really anything. When I was a kid, I thought he was with like simping for McGonagall when I was a kid. I'll be honest, that's what I thought. I never saw him as gay, but she never specified either or. So when she said it, I was like,
I like
okay, I
never.
guess.
Yeah, I never thought about it, I guess.
Yeah.
And the books don't ever go into it really.
They
They
never
just,
go into it. I always thought of Grindelwald as like a best friend.
yeah. So it was like unnecessary when she did that. So she's
Hmm.
like trying to appease this kind of proto woke culture at the
Yeah.
time. And then they came out with this, and this was like I told you before the show, I was like, it's a play, so it's not as scrutinized as being
Yeah.
like it has to be like who is in it. So she could have just said, look, we're doing a play. We found
Yeah.
somebody that was really, she tested really well with the rest of the cast or whatever. She did really well. It didn't have to be
But
like
they
this big
purposely
thing.
kept hiring a black woman as Hermione
Yeah,
all over the globe. So
and
then
it
you're like,
became
that's
this
kind of an odd
thing.
percentage. Everyone who auditions, the best one is always a black person, even if you look at the statistics of like the population of black people within that country, right? It's kind of like, oh, that's a bit odd how it's always black every time. But it
Yeah,
was on purpose. And they even race swapped the daughter too. And they eliminated the son completely in the
just
cursed child's
completely.
play. Yeah, he's not even in there. He's gone. Like Hugo Weasley, not even in the play. Never
Wow,
mentioned.
just completely
Hmm.
cut out. So it's like,
So
and it's not as if there aren't other characters in it that are black. There's tons of other
oh
ones.
yeah.
Like Dean Thomas is one of the. Isn't Fred and Weasley, like Fred and George's,
Yeah,
like
George Weasley ends up marrying
friend?
Angelina Johnson. She's
Right.
black. Kingsley Shacklebolt is
Kingsley
black, and he
Shacklebolt, and
becomes
he's
like
badass.
temporary minister of magic. So like that's high up. That's a big deal.
Yeah, it's
You want to
almost
talk
like
about
they
that? Put
really
more effort in the
needed.
movies.
They were like, we need to put one of those blacks right there in the middle of like the friend group, or else they don't count or something.
Yep.
Just like weird.
Yeah, none of those black characters, Asian, whatever it was, they don't exist.
They don't count because they're not Harry, Ron, or Hermione.
Yeah.
Just such a weird thing to do. And then right after that, it seemed like that's whenever all of the all the hate came out for her because she was against women, or she was against men being women, taking all of the women's sports things. You know, it's like,
yeah, it's a bit ironic, isn't it?
It's a little. It's kind of like that's you're dancing with the one you brought. If that's the crowd you really want, that's the one you really got. And then now you've got half of your, let's say more than half of your audience are like against you now.
Yep.
Like I'm
she
saying,
didn't really
like
think that one
audience.
through. I don't think.
Yeah, it's such a weird fandom, the Harry Potter fandom.
It's very toxic. Very toxic. I don't like follow. Like I don't like really. Like a lot of YouTubers are really fake about Harry Potter. Like they always give great reviews on everything because Warner Brothers basically pays them. They're nasty with anyone who disagrees with them. Yeah, I don't know who sometimes were Star Wars fans or Harry Potter fans. They're both like, oh, toxic.
Yeah, it's very annoying. It's like I remember just liking Harry Potter and being like, oh, hey, you like Harry Potter? That's cool. And then we go watch a movie, and then we like the movie or we don't like the movie. Like, but now it's like you better like trans or I'm gonna end you. Like, whoa, where did this come from? Why is this a thing right now?
Yeah. Somebody in chat asked me if I considered the Cursed Child canon. No. I read the day it came out, and I was like, absolutely not. No. Never gonna do this. I have the book still because it's a first edition, first printing, so I have to keep it for like collection purposes. But I hate it.
I did not like it either. I thought it was bad. I didn't like the characters. Like they made all the characters unlikable.
They ruined everything. They ruined everything. So out of character. I bet you she didn't even write any of that. She just stuck her name on it for seal of approval. Was like, yep, here you go. The other two people wrote it. 100%. It's not her.
And I think of it as like a play universe. It's this play universe. It's over there. It's not the actual universe. What do you think of the Fantastic Beasts movies?
You know, I really liked the first film. I really liked it. I thought it was interesting. It was, you know, seeing another whole world of the Wizarding World was just so great. And I like Newt. I like Newt Scamander. He was interesting. What I didn't like in the second one is how like Dumbledore was there and they were bringing so many new characters, but they weren't really like fleshing them out. And they kind of like sidelined Queenie a little bit. And I really liked Queenie because I thought she was so cool, you know, a trained legilimate. So you never really see that all that much, you know, with Snape. I really liked Queenie a lot. I thought she was great. And they kind of like sidelined her. And so like this whole the ending where like Lita Lestrange just dies randomly. I was like, what the fuck? I really like Theseus Scamander a whole lot. I thought he was really great. And like the whole dynamic of the two brothers is really fun. Because it's always about like siblings or family. You know, you got Tina and Queenie, you have Newt and Theseus. So that was cool. And the third one, they introduced even more characters. And then Tina wasn't even in that movie except for like, what, 2 minutes total? So like I don't understand. There's so many characters. Yeah, she's in Tina, like Newt's like love interest in the movie for about 2 minutes total. Wow. She's not like any. I don't know. They won't tell us what happened. Like maybe the actress was like had a contract issue. She didn't want to film. She was sick. Who knows? Because it was filmed during COVID. Who knows? But like she was literally in there for 2 seconds, and like she got replaced by this like American teacher she was kind of cool, but like. How many characters are there going to be without really fleshing them out? You know, like I think it should have been like an actual book and then converted into something. And I think personally it should have just been like expanded elsewhere, leave Dumbledore and all them alone.
It's kind of the problem with Star Wars, how they always have to bring back a character you know to like make you go, oh look, it's that character. I know that character. You're like, but it's kind of cool that you go off in a different direction. I don't like kind of the world. Like I want to know. I like knowing about the past and like how that Wizarding World was, but it always felt like they were just regular humans with wands. Like it didn't feel like it was a wizarding world. Like there's something about like the beginnings of
Maybe
Harry
because
Potter.
it lacked Hogwarts, it was missing a school.
Yeah, it was something, some of that, and like the aspects of the wizarding world itself. Like whenever you see, and in the book, whenever you go to Diagon Alley, like you're seeing crazy things to Harry. Harry's like, this is ridiculous. You know, there's people wearing robes, and there's
flying above you,
right.
stuff like that. Yeah.
And then it's like in those movies, they kind of just felt like a really subdued version. Everybody's walking around in 3-piece suits and not like what wizards or what should.
How did Dumbledore dress from so nicely and then age like 30 years and like what 10 years basically, and then he just was like, it's robe time.
He's like,
baby.
I'm wearing robes and a little hat
and a big beard and everything. I'm like, where's the transition between the two?
Yeah, I felt like they were afraid to really make it like Harry Potter wizard world kind of thing.
Yeah,
they were
and they were like very much in like the Muggle world too, so maybe that kind of pulled you out too.
Maybe, yeah.
There's a lot of interaction because I mean you're in New York City, Muggle world, right? So maybe that's what didn't really capture you because
it's like the heights of Muggle world. Like that's something that's also kind of why I really like the books and the movies, is like an aspect of it of like the otherworldliness of it. Because it's like I'm in America and I know what America's like, but Harry Potter is set in Britain, which is something that's not something I'm used to. And then on top of that, this whole wizarding world.
That's true.
And then it's like now I'm watching this movie and now they're in New York. I'm like, which I've seen a million times. And they're just wearing regular people clothes. And I'm like, it's kind of just like, you just have wands.
Yeah, where's the change? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand transition because you go from all this nice clothing, normal Muggle clothing, and you swap right over. So I'm like, meh.
Like to the point where it's weird that they would wear pants. Like in the books, they say like there's things where they didn't know how to wear Muggle clothes.
Yes, it's true. Like in Goblet of Fire, one of the wizards is like, "Oh, I'm not wearing underwear. I want a healthy breeze and all that." I'm like, "All right, yeah."
But apparently,
did you ever, like, you never watched the third one? Do you know anything about it?
No.
Do you want to know anything about it? Well, I mean, like, so you know how Credence is like, "Who am I?"
Yeah.
He's a Dumbledore. He actually is a Dumbledore. He's Albus Dumbledore's nephew. He's Aberforth's bastard kid, basically.
Oh, okay. I was like, how does that connect? I was like,
yeah, so he's Aberforth's kid. He met a girl, and they shacked up.
Okay.
And the girl was sent away with the kid, and yeah. So then Aberforth is in the movie. I actually liked Aberforth in the third movie. He's pretty cool.
Who plays him?
I don't remember his name. He was in Prince of Persia though. He played like one of the brothers in Prince of Persia.
Oh,
like
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember his name, but I thought he was pretty good. And the thing is, you know, because like Ezra Miller's gone loco, they ended that film with basically like Credence can just die off in between films, and it would make sense.
Oh, they don't.
It's like a giant safety net because like the first two films, like Credence is very heavily involved, and in the third one, he's not in that all that much. Credence in the third film, so like they must have been having some issues or like rework the plot or whatever it is, and he's dying by the end of the movie. He's dying. He's like, oh, so they can kill him off.
You're kind of doing that to him in every movie he's in. You're kind of just like, yeah, he could be dead.
So like it's kind of like a giant safety net. Like honestly, the third film didn't do well because people were upset about Johnny Depp, and then the second film didn't do that great. But I kind of thought the third film was a little bit of a step up from the second one.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know if that changes your opinion on watching it. It's kind of interesting with the whole Dumbledore thing, though.
Yeah, that's why it was very kind of confusing for me too. I was like, okay, so he's wearing.
I couldn't believe he was a Dumbledore in the second one. I was like, You're lying to me, J.K. Rowling. This is a whole bait and switch, whatever it is. Like, I need to lie, still on a throne of lies and all that. But no, he actually is. Yeah, his name's Aurelius Dumbledore, and he's Aberforth's kid.
Well.
And he's an Obscurus. And Ariana was also an Obscurus. I mean, we guessed that already, but it was confirmed that she was one.
Jose Gonzalez for $5. Ain't it funny they want a strong female protagonist, but Hermione is breaking the laws of time to study even though she's failing a class. Mary Sue, she is not. She's not a Mary Sue. They wrote her in a way, and by they I mean J.K. Rowling, or people that they say wrote the books.
The author, because you know it's triggering.
Oh yeah.
Say J.K.
Sorry.
Rowling. Did you know that they like MuggleNet, the website, banned the word J.K. Rowling because it's triggering? So they refer to
My
any
God.
news as the
The
author.
author.
Mm-hmm. The author, because her name's
Ugh.
triggers. It kills. Her name could kill someone.
It puts us in danger. But yeah, she wrote Hermione in a way that she was strong and very smart, but also had flaws.
Very flawed.
Yeah.
Very flawed.
And wasn't universally loved. Like most people, I think, thought she was annoying.
Mm-hmm,
and it
at
was
first,
like through their like joint life experiences together, they became friends and they respected each other. But like a lot of people think that Hermione is like annoying. Like
yeah, and like she's kind of purposely written that way at first.
Yeah.
You know, she's like always one-upping Ron type of deal. And it's only after like they save each other with the troll in the first one that they become like friends. Like she's
Right.
more relaxed with breaking the rules. And she is very flawed. And like even when like Harry and Ron are fighting, whatever, Harry always makes a point, like J.K. Rowling makes a point basically saying like it's not the same. Hermione and Harry, like
Right,
their
yeah.
friendship is just not the same. It's just not the same. It's not the same. And she's such a bookworm and everything, and sometimes she just doesn't really think about people's feelings. Sometimes, yeah, like she's very flawed. I don't, yeah.
That's what I kind of like
get people
about
saying that.
Luna when they bring her in, is like she's the opposite of Hermione.
Yeah, she's very
where
much the
she's
opposite of Hermione.
very like in tune with everybody's like feelings and like to the point where it's weird. So it's that's why she's such the opposite. It was like,
and they
okay,
don't
we
really get
don't
along,
like that.
Hermione and Luna. They're kind of like, Hermione's like, you're a dumbass, and Luna's like, wow,
Yeah,
look,
I don't know.
flamingos or something, you know?
Bradley Burnett for $5. JK dipped into the woke pool with Black Hermione and Gay Dumbledore, but ultimately failed the woke purity test, which really can never be passed. Agreed. Can't be passed. Why even do it? Jose Gonzalez for $2. I can understand the suits for the U.S. Wizards. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I think it looks really spiffy, but
it looks nice. Yeah, I mean, it's bespoke for sure.
Yeah, but I don't know. It kind of like pulls you out. I think it's not very immersive.
Let's see. I think I got all of them. And
Smeagol had murdered Dobby. Oh,
what?
Bradley says Smeagol had murdered Dobby several times over.
He would. He totally.
No precious.
And that's like that's a character that I didn't like until he was killed. Like before that, you kind of for me, I was like, you know, he's like this annoying
Dobby.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't like appreciate him until I was like reading it, and then he actually sacrifices himself for everybody else. And I was like, okay, all right, Dobby, you're a good boy.
I love Dobby. He's
Good guy.
So cute. He's so sweet. Dobby the Chad. Yes.
Dobby the Chad. And then you meet all the like other. In the books, you meet all of the other house elves, and like in the movies, they completely skip over that.
Winky and Hokey are completely out of it, and Creature's barely in it.
That bastard, fucking Creature.
I love Creature.
Hate Creature.
He develops so much in the 7th one, and like none of that is in the movies.
None of it. None of it. That's why I'm like I did a full marathon, watched all 8 movies in one sitting. It was crazy.
Wow, I've never done that.
But you really see how poorly they connect the movies together and how poorly they like set things up for the future, and how at the end of the series they have to like rush and like really set up a bunch of stuff like super quick, like in one movie.
Yeah, like Dobby just shows up out of the blue in the 7th movie, even though he was literally in all the movies.
He was there the whole time.
Books,
he works at Hogwarts. He's there.
Yeah, he's there 2, 4, 5, 6. He's literally fighting with Creature in the 6th one, which I would have loved to have seen. You know, like when Harry and Ron are in the hospital wing, and they're like, "All right, why don't you go stalk Draco Malfoy?" And they're like, "I'm better than you." And you know, they're literally wrestling. Like, oh, it would have been so great to see.
Spew, they cut Spew all the way out. Although I didn't like Spew either. That was annoying.
I didn't really like it either. That's one of Hermione's flaws, that she thinks that she understands what they want.
Yeah,
it's not really true. Not all of them want that.
And they don't want that kind of at all. And it's only Dobby because he had to live with the Malfoys.
Yeah, like if they're treated with respect and everything, I'm pretty sure the house elves are happy as can be. So they're doing what they want to do.
Oh, it's another thing that they didn't set up is Neville. Like his whole connection with what happened before with like his parents
His
being
parents, yeah.
driven to insanity, and Harry learning about that early on and not
Mhm.
telling anybody, and then they see
Yeah, for a
him,
whole year he didn't say
yeah,
anything. And then
and then they
the
see
parents
him at
aren't
the
even in the
hospital.
St. Mungo's. Yeah, none of
Yeah,
that.
none of that. You never get any of that, and then in the final movie they have to like quickly ramp up Neville into somebody
Chad.
yeah, it could be a Chad, right? So it's like they don't really, because in the book he sets it up so well. It's like Neville's first, he's seen as like this annoying kid that can't really do anything right, and he's like barely can
Mhm.
be considered a wizard almost.
Right.
And then you kind of slowly learn things about him and his family, and like kind of why he's the way he is and why he's so nervous, and some of this that he keeps
Mhm.
things away from other kids. And it's like that's what I kind of like what you were saying earlier. It's like these side characters she does really well. She tells you just enough of them, and the
Mhm.
ones that are more important to the main story she sets up and develops them in the background way ahead, like several books ahead, kind of just
Yeah, for
dropping little
sure.
nuggets along the way and going, oh, there's a little bit
Exactly. A
more
lot
to
of
this person.
foreshadowing. So much foreshadowing.
Yeah, and that's the
And
things
this
that I really
movie's just like
I really love about stories in general, is whenever you can set something up really early and then pay it
Mhm.
off. And a lot
Yeah,
of
the
things are
payoff is
not,
great.
they can't do that. They don't do that very well, and especially in movies now, they are almost completely unable to have
Oh
set up
yeah.
payoff moments. So
Like the
whenever there's
Star
something
Wars
like that,
sequels.
yeah,
Ugh.
like literally couldn't even do it inside their own movies, and then inside their own trilogy is completely haphazard all over the place. There's no setup at
Mhm.
all. It's just
No
things
plan,
happen.
nothing.
So it's like
Yeah.
really great to see that in a book series, that it can set up things like that so early and then pay them off in such a great way. Like
Yeah.
the whole chosen one narrative with um what's her name? What's Trelawney. So how
Yeah.
she is like first introduced
Seer.
as a
A batshit crazy lady,
yeah, crazy
basically.
lady that you kind of don't take seriously, and then she does have a moment where
She has the
she
like
sees the
she's pretty
future.
pivotal.
Yeah, and then you're like, okay, wait, there's parts of her that are actually
Mhm.
a seer, but she kind of like
Why Dumbledore
builds
keeps her
up,
there for
right?
protecting
You're like,
her.
I
Keeps her at
understand it,
Hogwarts.
and then they really set
Mhm.
that up in the fifth one, and then the fourth, and the sixth one, and then the seventh one, right? It all
She's
kind
not
of
even in
comes
the sixth
together.
movie, which drives me nuts because like she
Yeah,
gets like drunk in the sixth book and she's like complaining and all that, saying all like Draco Malfoy jinxed her out of the room of requirement. Basically, he's like,
yeah,
"Oh, somebody threw me backwards or whatever it was," and like that was like that's a huge thing. You see
yeah.
none of it.
So I think
Yeah.
it just overall, it's like I wish they kind of would. It might be crazy to say. I wish they would do it again,
Really?
but more accurate to the books. If they could do
I
that
don't want
again,
them to
I would.
touch him because
I don't want
right
them to
now they're gonna
because yeah,
destroy it and make it
I
so
agree.
woke.
I totally agree. But like, imagine we were in like a different world, and they
A
could do
better
something
world.
with like respect and
Mhm.
recreate it in a way that really does like set it up. I would almost say like in a TV show, like a premium TV show, high budget Harry
Maybe
Potter
even like
retelling could be really cool.
animated or something. Because
That would be
when
cool
these
too.
children
Yeah.
are aging so much that they won't be able to keep up with the correct age of like filming.
That would be something interesting to ask the kids that grew up, Rupert and Daniel and Emma. Be like,
Yeah.
would, if you had the choice, would you do it again? And if you heard that they were doing it again, would you be like against that? Like it, because like I'm sure that it's a great
If the paycheck's
experience,
big enough, they'll come back.
but it's like growing up, was it fun to do that, to be a part of that, and now your whole life is connected to this one story kind of thing?
Yeah.
Like, would you want to do that to another set of kids? That would be, I don't know, I would like to hear that
That
answer.
actually, yeah, that'd be like, would you wish that on someone else type of deal.
Yeah,
Because it did. It changed their lives completely. And
right,
the only three people in the world who can ever understand how they feel is them three. There's no other IP
right.
like that. That did like for 10 years growing up on set.
Yeah, and
And I
it's
mean,
like their
yeah, sure, the other
entire life
castmates
now
will,
is
yeah,
connected to it.
like the other castmates can understand to a degree, like the twins and like Tom Felton who played Draco Malfoy, they can understand to a degree, but they weren't the trio. So
Right.
yeah.
They
I feel
couldn't
like
they
it's
couldn't
probably like
know.
a lonely world to figure out, I guess. But I mean, they got paid millions, so
Oh yeah,
you just gotta you gotta balance it out. Be like, take the paycheck, kind of sacrifice your teenagehood. Paycheck.
yeah. Jose Gonzalez for $2 more. These movies are good. No remakes. Shush. Okay,
I
I'm
agree.
just
I
saying,
don't
like
want them to touch him
in
at all.
another world, in another universe where Hollywood isn't complete crap and they can actually do something good, I think it would be cool to see that again.
I don't know if I could see anyone else playing them because for me, like those three were perfect for me when I was growing
Yeah,
up. Like they are my
they're really
Ron,
spot
Harry, and
on.
Hermione. Even though Harry is such a dick in the films, I find, especially later on. Like in the first two films, he's pretty spot on as Harry, and he's really spot on, like a sassy Harry in the third one, because Harry is very sassy in the books. He's very much like, oh, look at that. You learn the days of the week and all that. And like
Yeah.
he's so sassy. And in the movies, he's just like, well, fuck off. And I'm just like, ugh. But
Did I
like
miss a soup? I'm
appearance wise,
sorry.
they're good.
Uh, Joey Flores for $2. Tell Blabs to free the wands. They did nothing.
Huh? Either
Free,
ones.
I don't know what free. What do you have? You have wands hidden?
No,
You
that's why
hiding
I'm
wands?
curious. No.
What are you doing with the
Whatever.
wands, Blabs?
I've chained them all up apparently.
And then Joey said, I missed your super. I'm sorry, I did miss you because I suck. All right, so you do have somewhere to be. Where would you like to tell the peoples where you're going after
Yeah,
this?
so we're gonna be streaming on Geeks and Gamers Live, and I believe Jeremy's gonna be doing it on the main channel also playing Mario Kart. That's what I was told this morning. I don't know if anything's changed now. I do want to drop my Instagram though, because like if you guys are massive Harry Potter fans, I post my collection basically every single day. So there it
Yeah,
is
send
in
it
the
to me. Let me
chat.
put it in the description.
Oh, yeah, thanks, dude. There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I post like pictures of my collection every day. I'm trying to build it up. I'm on Twitch too, which is also in the description. Yeah, this has been really, really fun. I
Yeah.
love talking about Harry Potter. It's so much
I
fun.
can't
So
wait for the interview.
anytime.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
Do it
I'm
again.
excited. That's next week.
Thank you
So
so much
guys,
for
if you
coming
do
on.
have questions for him, can I just drop that tweet? I'll put it
Yeah.
in the private description, and if they have something, they can do that.
Genji Gamer for $1.99. Have you seen Wizard People, dear readers? No. What is
What
that?
is that? I don't know.
Wizard People, dear readers.
I have no idea. Oh, are you gonna get Hogwarts Legacy?
Oh hell yeah. Hell yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
me
get
too.
that.
It doesn't look that great. I think it looks absolutely shit. I'm not
I
gonna
wanna
lie.
I wanna experience it.
I
I
still am
have
gonna
the
get it.
same
I'm gonna
kind of
stream it.
feelings. I do. I have the same kind of feelings.
I've seen the showcase that came out like a month ago. It's abysmal.
Yeah.
Abysmal.
I saw
tell
you like
abysmal.
complaining about the way Hogwarts looks too. You're like, this isn't Hogwarts. So
Oh, did you see it on
we'll see.
Gary's clip?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
well
I was like, this isn't right.
we'll see. I have misgivings about how they're gonna be able to make spells. How are spells gonna work? Are you gonna be able to
Oh, it looks
interchange
terrible.
them?
The dueling. I'm not gonna
How
lie.
are
I'm
you
like,
gonna do that? Like, I
oh.
don't know. But I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna get it.
I'm hoping it's gonna be good. Though. I'm gonna have to buy myself like a sorting hat that I can stream Twitch with a giant hat.
Yeah.
Ready to roll. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
This
It was
the
awesome.
best. I love this.
I love
Thank
talking about
you.
Harry Potter. I don't get to talk about Harry Potter all that much because
Yeah.
nobody around me likes Harry Potter like I do.
Whatever. We'll have chats.
So yeah, we'll do it again. Please go follow her wherever she's on Twitch, she's on Instagram, she's on Twitter. Go find her there, and then right after this, Geeks and Gamers Live, Mario Kart. Go do it. Thank you again, and I will see you guys later. Oh, it is time. It is time. That was good. That was good. For the Chad Show. It's the show after the show where we take all of our Chad energies and we combine them. We condense them like a neutron star into a dense, heavy black hole of chattery. What is a Chad, you may be asking? What is a Chad? Well, a Chad is you, a person that stays around after I say goodbye. It says goodnight, but you say, nuh-uh, kiss my ass. I'm a Chad. I stay here until the fat lady sings or until YouTube kicks me out of the stream. So let's say hello to the Chads in the Chad chat right now. Hatchet, what's up, you Chad? Jose Gonzalez, love you, bro. Ordinary Brave Guitarist, Chad. Froggy Frank, Chad. Real Steven TV, Chad. Paul Bustle, Chad. Steven Seat, Chad. Justin Proper is a Chad. Look at that. Uh-huh, that's right. What a Chad. Weasel, the Ghost Tick, Chad. Marty Art, Chad. Hey, if you don't know, Chads, bros, Chads, Marty Art has his own channel called Jack Tar Lad. You should go subscribe. He didn't do a stream today or yesterday, even though he was supposed to, but he also got the sicknesses. So every Tuesday, Marty Art the Chad does a stream. So I want you to go check it out. Raven, Nevermore, Chad. DeChronic, Chad. Marty Art 2 Chad, that's right. He's almost too Chad for this chat. But somehow we keep all the Chad energy together. I think it's all of our combined chatteries. That's right. Johnny Borealis, Chad. Dusty Props, Chad. Sergeant Herb, Chad. James King, Chad. Knox. Arc Trooper, Knox, you, Chad. Bro, Arc Trooper Knox has been with me for a long time. You're fucking OG, bro. Fucking OG. Diev, Chad. Justin Proper doing one of the most Chad things a Chad can do during the Chad show, sending in a super Chad. My God. For $5, I saw Harry Potter in theaters as a 6-year-old with zero clue of what it was about. Nothing short of magical. I'm kind of retarded. Was a magical experience. I watched it, packed movie theater. I was sitting in the very back row of like one of the stadium seated ones, so it was like very far away, but it was so awesome, dude. And I was like I said, like I was 10. It was like at the perfect age. I was like, damn, I want to get my letter, bro. Never got it. It doesn't exist. That's growing up. Hey, look, there you go. Marty Art dropping his link in the chat right there. Go subscribe. Go check it out. He's a Chad. G-Monkey 76. What a Chad. Ah, you Chads. You make an old Chad heart proud. Chadding it up like you do. It's beautiful to see. Beautiful to see. Now, Chads, I got a question for you. I need a game to play on the locals / Rumble side, and I don't like cholesterol protocol. All right, I don't like that game. It sucks. It's not fun. Okay, whatever. I'm a journo or whatever. I don't like hard games, which is untrue. I think that game is just poorly created. What game do you think I should play? Because I feel like it should be something that has like a story to it. It's very like single player heavy. You know, if I play something like I can't think of something. I can't think of a game. You know, like a survival game. That's like an ongoing game that just goes on forever, and I could, you know, just play that forever. But I don't want to do that. I want to play like something very like with a story. Ooh, Alien Isolation. That's a great idea. Ah, dude, I should play that. I have that game. I already have it. We should play that. I'm still open to suggestions, though. But that is a really good one. Justin Proper doing another Chad thing. I've got a return. For $5. Watching The Sorcerer's Stone must have felt like what kids in 77 felt like when they first watched Star Wars. Dude, it was. And I'm so grateful for the movies that came out whenever I was like 10. It's like I had Harry Potter. I had Lord of the fucking Rings, dude. Talk about another great movie in the movie theater. Like, it's such a cinematic fucking movie. And to have that come out like right when I was 10, boom, perfect. And then at the same time, you also had Star Wars coming out and The Matrix, and you had all, like, there's so many things. There's so many things. Oh my god, the Chads, they're sitting in the Chad, Super Chads. Oh my god, Hatchet for $5. Warhammer 40k Chaos Gate. Follow the Grey Knights as they slay chaos demons. I'm kind of retarded. It's single player XCOM style. I suck at XCOM style, though. I suck at it. Clark for $5 sitting in a Super Chad. If a Chad could not Chad, but another Chad could Chad, what the other Chad could not Chad, should that Chad Chad? What the other Chad could not Chad? I don't know, man. That's a deep philosophical question I don't think we have time to answer right now. There's so many layers of Chad on top of Chad. Not like that, though. In a Chad way. William. Chad. Yes. Chad. Man, my brain hurts after reading that last one. Jose Gonzalez for $2 sitting in a Super Chad. Make it happen with Alien. I want to see you scream. I think that's a great idea. I like that idea. Red Faction Guerrilla is a first-person shooter. No, that's a third-person shooter. Kinda retarded. Man, bro, dude, Chad. Captain 45, Chad. Red Faction Guerrilla is a third person, isn't it? I thought it was. I love Red Faction 1 and 2. Let me tell you, bro, I fucking love Red Faction 1 and 2. Very different games, but I love both of them. I don't think I actually played Guerrilla all the way through, because it was such a departure. I never finished it. I do have them, though. I have the entire Red Faction franchise. What happened? Dude, whenever I was playing Red Faction, I was like, the possibilities are endless. They could make everything destructible, man. And like now, fast forward 15 years, nothing's destructible. I was like, every game is gonna have completely destructible lands, and now fucking nothing has it. So lame. I was like, you know how much time I spent just blowing up rocks in that game? Like, what happened to games like that? Games that would just, like, you'd have tons of time just doing stupid shit just because it was fun. I feel like not many games these days capture that kind of fun. I think the last time I really got captured like that was like Valheim, maybe, to that extent. Alan Wake, that kind of game actually might be a good one. That's a good one, Jay Pinbear. Like a mystery game, like a Silent Hill, or like a Resident Evil. That might be a good one. Good style. That's what I'm trying to figure out what the style of game for that would be. You should do a VR game. I feel like VR game, that would be like my main channel YouTube kind of content. But I agree. I should play like Phasmophobia with VR. I keep saying I'm going to do it. I just need to set up the VR. Patrick Bauer doing one of the most Chad things a Chad could do. For $2. A personal favorite of mine is Dishonored. That's a good fucking game. I should play Dishonored. I never played the second one. Is it good? Is it bad? Kind of didn't want to mess up my experience with the first move or the first game. I went through the first game mainly because, you know, if you've watched me play games, you know, you fucking know. I don't read tutorials, all right? I just play the game. I went through 95% of this fucking game with only the dash power. I had no clue there were other powers in the game. I was just dash, like, teleporting. That was it. Justin Proper with another $10. That's a yeah. That's right. One thing that sucks about Harry Potter are the SJW fans it attacks. Yeah, I don't get... I mean, I guess I kind of understand how it attracts those kind of people. Oh, I'm going to finish this super chat, though. All of those weirdos love it. But at least whatever I get into a heated debate, we can bond over those books and movies. Common ground. Yeah. There's something about the Harry Potter world that I guess attracts fucking SJW weirdos. Unfortunately. That's just how it is. That's what I was talking to Blabs about. It was like, how do you have the two parts of your brain that reads Harry Potter and realizes that it's really horrible for an entire media circus to, like, vilify a person, and then at the same time watch as a media circus vilifies the fucking author for the book series that you love? How do you do that? How do you do that? James King, welcome to the Biden dollar menu level. It is $2. I apologize, but we do live in Biden's America, so everything is double the price, so it's $2. That's just how it is. Jens Jurgensen, member for 4 months at the Knights of Knee level. That's a high level, bro. Silent Hill 2 remake. Play it. Best game ever. That could be a good contender. I'm writing these games down. I'm writing them down. That's some first world problems right there. Indeed. Justin Proper becoming a Biden dollar menu member. It's inflation, bro. You remember whenever burgers used to be like $1, bro? I saw an advertisement in an old commercial because I was watching a video and it had old commercials in it. Burgers for 49 cents. I finally felt like one of those old guys that's like, I used to buy a burger for a nickel. Like, damn, man. Yep, 49-cent burgers. Like, what the... Dude, we live in a different world, man. An expensive world. Imagine paying more than $1 for McDonald's quality burgers. And I like McDonald's. But only 10% of the time. I'd say 10% of the time, McDonald's, top notch, kick ass, it's great. But that 90% of the time, every time you go to McDonald's, you're rolling the dice on shit. How many times you get a burger, it's all floppy, the bread's crusty, it's old, the fries are either too droopy or too crispy, or they just taste like they've been sitting out for like an hour. Sick. But that 10% of the time. That's the only reason to go to McDonald's is for that 10% of the time. Because if you get a meal and it's that 10% of the time, damn, it's fucking great. It's like, oh man, the burger is juicy, the bread is soft, the fries are perfect, the soda is like perfectly mixed with the CO2 and the syrup. Everything's hitting on all cylinders, but it's like 10% of the time. I even think 10% is too much. I think that's way too much. That's a way too high of a percentage. I think it's probably even more like a 5%, possibly lower than that. Because damn, McDonald's sucks otherwise. James King for $2. Membership fixed. F YouTube. Now go play God of War. I wish I fucking could. I really want to play God of War Ragnarok, but I don't have a PlayStation 5. and I have not really put in the time to look for one. I just know whenever I look over at the area where there would be one, there's not one. So I have to get one. I have to find one so I can play the fucking game. Because I also want to play the Ratchet and Clank game that came out, and I can't play that either. I did play the 2018. 2018 blew my socks off. I fucking love that game. Like, that's one of those games that I really appreciate the storytelling over the gameplay, because the gameplay is so-so. It's okay. It's I mean, it's serviceable, pretty good. But the story is really what you go to that game for. You really go to that game for the cinematic. Like, I got through with that game. I got through with the fucking opening of that game and was like, why is this a better movie than movies are? Like, that movie, the opening of that game is so impactful, and it makes you care about characters that are like already dead and you never met. And it's just like, it's fucking great. It's so good. I hope the second one lives up to that. But I've heard that there's like a bunch of there's a bunch of parts in the game that are really boring, where they take you off and you have to play a character that's not Kratos. Like, and Sony keeps doing that. They did that with the Spider-Man game, where you're playing this great Spider-Man game, and then every, 4 hours or so, you'd have to play a Mary Jane section, or you'd have to play a part with Miles Morales, and you're just fucking sneaking around trying not to get killed by guards. And I'm like, I believe I looked at this game and it was called Spider-Man, not Mary Jane sneaks around a fucking museum. But Sony keeps doing that, and it's not fun. I don't like it. Stop doing that. Is there a PS4 version? Holy shit. I should probably go get that. I got my PS4 right here on the desk. Did I miss something? I did. I think I did. James King for $2 doing one of the most a chatty Chad things a chat can do. That's what I missed. I didn't say that. Thank you, bro. All right, Chads. I think I got some good answers. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm liking that alien isolation idea. I can turn all the lights off. Get really spooky in here, Don't tell anybody. Just let it soak in. Let all the creepiness soak right in. Kind of creeped out right now just thinking about it. All right, I'll see you guys later. You Chads. Tomorrow, I think I'm just going to be editing a video. But on Friday Night Tights, baby. So I'll see you there. We need the clips. All right, I'll see you guys later. Kind of retarded.